Alright, so this is your pretty standard Retic box setup. I'm going to take you through a brief little description of what each of the items are and how to do certain functions with the box itself. So starting with up the top, you've got your positive and negative buttons, basically allowing you to increase or decrease time as well as values inside the box. You've got a program and also a manual button as well. You have a rain sensor button here. For the most part, we just flick that up into the bypass section, as it sometimes becomes more of a nuisance than help. We've got our date and time for setting the date and time with the internal computer that is in the box. We've got the start time for when certain stations are coming on, how long you want the stations to come on, what days you want the stations to come on, percentage of water needed based upon the seasons. We don't really worry about that. Same with the solar sync, we really don't worry about that. Manual, so you can manually turn individual stations on, and then system off for when we want to turn the whole system off. Now, for example, if we wanted to set the date and time, we'd go to the date and time, go year, so 2025. Next, this small little calendar here, it should display 1 to 12, so that should give you the month. So this will be March, and then next one, the date would be the 30th. Also setting whether it's AM or PM, and that is how you set the date and time. Moving on to the next, we've got our start times over here. Now, with regards to this, it basically shows the time that you want your first round of stations to come on. So for the most part, stations only should be coming on one time per day. And depending on when the watering time allows, we change this value here. So for the place that we're at today, they're allowed to start watering from 7. So we set that time to 7 a.m. Of course, some people may want it earlier, some people also may want it in the afternoon, so we use the positive and negatives to adjust the time there. Now, one confusing aspect of this is the A indicator over here. This indicates when so if you want it on multiple times a day, you hit program, and your multiple times that you can turn it on during the day will come on. For the most part, we only want it coming on once per day. And then you can cycle through, and then if you wanted it to start a second time, that's how it would function from there. Also going down here, we can, so this is for program A. So when A is selected in the start times, station 1 in program A is coming on for 20 minutes, of course up and down depending on that, and then cycle through your stations by pressing that. Going over to manual, if you ever need to turn a station on manually, switch it to manual, go up and down for the time that you need, and then your left and right arrows for the stations that you need. So if we want station 1 on, we would have it to manual, set it to run, and then the station would start. Now, if you want to go from station 1 to 2 without having to redo the dial, we simply just use the arrow and cycle through the stations that we want to go through. Now, the way to stop this function from happening is go system off, but make sure after you've gone system off, you then put it back into the auto run function.